Hello and welcome to this guided meditation for you. You chose this meditation for a reason, and I invite you to be curious about why that may be, as there is medicine here for you, and it is perfectly designed for you. So wherever you are, begin to find a comfortable position, seated or lying down, with a straight spine. Begin to close the eyes down, soften the jaw, allow your facial expressions to melt away. Maybe you can soften the shoulders and then begin to drop into the body. We can start by becoming aware of the breath. Just noticing the natural rhythm, noticing how the breath is showing up in this moment. Noticing the belly rise on your inhalation, expanding, and noticing the belly contract on your exhalations, melting down. And you might begin to slow down the breath, bringing a little bit more length and a little bit more depth. Noticing that beautiful dance of the belly and the chest, rising and falling, just like a wave. There is so much beauty in the medicine of the breath. There is so much beauty in being still, even for just a moment. So as we lie still here, notice the connection between your body and the earth. Notice what points of your body are being held and supported the most. Notice the pressure of the pelvic bowl and the sit bones as they connect you to the ground. Maybe notice the temperature on your skin. Notice any sounds around your space, the sound of your breath, the sound of my voice. And tuning into that internal dialogue, that internal voice in the mind. Just noticing and observing any thoughts that show up. Without judgment, just letting them be. As one comes in, we acknowledge, and then allow it to go on its way. This is how we anchor into the observer. We find stillness. We notice our breath. We acknowledge each sense. We acknowledge the internal dialogue within us. And we acknowledge the next moment, the next sensation. Because each moment comes and goes, shifts and changes. Take a moment to notice and acknowledge how you feel and how maybe you have shifted your energy from the beginning of practice to now. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And taking 2 more just like that, filling up the belly, maybe even holding the breath at the top, and then exhaling to let it all go. And 1 more. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, maybe rocking the head from left to right, starting to come back to your environment as we take these gradual movements. And when you are ready, begin to open the eyes. Taking a moment to bask in the stillness, in the beauty that lingers. I thank you for being here. If you would like to continue listening, I have a meditation tip or piece of advice. If not, then I will see you next time, and bye-bye. Today's meditation tip is for those of you who are trying to build a consistent practice in meditation. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey with building a consistent practice, but the tip is pretty simple. The tip is just do it. No matter how small it feels to you, or no matter how big it might feel, like you could start a daily practice of meditating for 2 minutes, silent meditation, and you put a timer on. It's always 2 minutes, and that's what it is. Or you might have a song that you love that you want to play, and it's a 3-minute song, right? Preferably an instrumental, but it could be anything. Start small, especially if you are holding back because it feels too big. And then it will gradually shift and change, and you'll know when to say, you know what, I want to do 5 minutes. You know what, I want to do silent meditation. You know what, I want to do walking meditation maybe. So what I'm going to talk about is my journey a little bit. And what that would be is that about 5 years ago, I started meditating specifically because I was having a lot of anxiety and anxiety attacks. And I'll talk more about my story sometime with how meditation saved me and really uplifted me. Because it is a beautiful story that I love to share. But I started it, and it was really a coping mechanism. It was something that I needed, right? And I did it every day, mostly every day, because it was the only thing that I had. It was the only thing that felt good for me and felt true for me and helped me. And then eventually, I didn't do it every day, but maybe I just did it every couple of days. And then a couple of years went by, and it was more of this thing that I kept putting on my to-do list that would never get done. I kept looking at it as like, oh, make sure you meditate today, and like I wouldn't. And a big thing I noticed personally is that when I don't meditate, a lot of that anxiousness does come back because I don't have the time to sit with all of those feelings in an observatory way. And so, anywho, I had like probably about a year where it just was really hard to have a consistent practice. All of a sudden I went to Costa Rica and I met a teacher who did a daily meditation and journaling practice. And when I did that, and it was in the mornings, it was her morning routine that she was sharing with other people. When I did that, I just didn't want to stop. And so I've been meditating every day from April 30th to now, 153 days. And it doesn't feel like a task that I have to get done. It doesn't feel like something on my to-do list. It feels like it's part of me.
And I ideally love to do it every morning, but if I can't get to it in the morning, I do it in the night. And I do it because I want to. But it took me 5 years to get to that point where it just feels very natural and smooth to have a consistent practice. So my tip and advice to you is to take kind of what you heard about my journey and just understand it's a wave that you will be riding to build this consistent practice. And the advice would just be start and start small, especially if trying to start bigger is what is holding you back. That's the advice. And see how it changes your life, Do it for a month and hold that discipline. Even like I said, if it's 2 minutes a day, it is just as big. So write down in the comments below if you are looking to build a consistent practice. I would love to hear. Write down in the comments below how long your meditations are and kind of what a goal might be. I know that a lot of times time is a big thing, like, oh, I can do it for 5 minutes, but I can't do it for 30, or I want to do it for an hour one day. So just chat below and let me know how your meditation practice is going. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.